will happen to post-16 provision under the SEND reform proposals is one of the most common questions that I get asked because it is the least clear in the document. And question 17, which we're looking at in this video, part 8 of my guide to filling in the SEND reform consultation, we will look at what it does say about post-16 and what it doesn't. And there is also one question that people keep asking me that actually is in this section. So here is that confirmation, that question that a lot of you will find helpful and reassuring. It does say that those with EHCPs will continue to be supported when needed up to the age of 25. So many people have asked if they'll cut that short, and this confirms that they will not. It says we will also consider whether further support is needed for young people with SEND who do not have an EHCP under the new system after the age of 18. That will be vital in a system where fewer young people actually have an EHCP. Let's just look at a few key points. So individual support plans, which I talked about in the last video, will be a key part of transitions in the future because they are digital documents that will move with a child or young person through their education. One thing that caught my eye is that schools, colleges and local authorities will work together to create bespoke or cohort-based transition packages. What on earth would a cohort-based transition package look like? How would that ever be effective? This seems to be another area where the government is trying to play off efficacy of a plan versus saving some money, not paying attention to the fact that if your plans for transition aren't effective, then they're going to fail and that will cost more money. And this is something that we see in a lot of areas of these plans. It does say that planning for transition needs to begin at least 12 months in advance. Obviously, there's some stuff that won't be relevant to a lot of people with SEND. So it talks about their general post-16 education and skills white paper to improve access to careers guidance and 2 weeks worth of work experience for all young people. This will help ensure that young people with SEND receive the support they need to navigate their options. I cannot wait to see what my non-verbal twins have to do for their work experience and what their career guidance says. It says they will reduce the number of young people becoming NEET, that means not in education, employment or training, you'll hear that a lot, through better identification of risk, improved data sharing and ensuring each young person has a planned destination before they leave school. Now, apart from the planned destination bit, I know I try in these videos to explain what the government means, but I genuinely have no idea what they're trying to say there. There's information here on apprenticeships, different pilot schemes that are already running, transitions to higher education, and then a very small piece of information about young people who need colleges and special post-16 institutions which nurture independence and life skills, making the transition from children's social care to adult services easier. And that's it. There's no big idea, there's no big proposal for how they will completely reform post-16 transition, how they will stop so many young people with SEND becoming not in education, employment or training. So really this is quite open for you to tell them what worked or did not work for your child, what your child will need when they reach that point. I think it's worth all of us pointing out that how successful the post-16 transition is and everything that comes after that for our children and young people will depend on how effective the support has been throughout their education journey. If we get it wrong, then obviously more young people are going to end up NEET, on benefits, unable to live independently and everything else. And that's why it's so important that we get these reforms right. The way you get better outcomes is to meet their needs properly as early as you can. The next section is on inclusion bases in mainstream schools, and we have a lot to go over there. That is a very important piece of this consultation. So do follow along. Then you'll see when I post that. I will get to these as soon as I possibly can. If you have any particular questions, do let me know in the comments.